Good morning, everyone. This is Financial Literacy 101. And today we'll be talking about TeraWulf. Now, I know from what you guys are seeing, the numbers do not look good. But again, you see the green light. This is the green light indicator, let you know that I believe that maybe you should buy. But of course, everything is up to your opinion because when you invest your money, it's your money and not my money. And you may gain money or lose money depending on the information that you hear today. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to let you know that this particular stock is dealing with zero carbon based energy, which is the alternative fuel sources in order to generate electricity in order to actually mine Bitcoin and other types of cryptocurrencies. All right. So as we're looking at the stock right here, ladies and gentlemen, in the past year, it has been down almost 74% in the past 3 months. We're looking at around 74% the past month, 26% the past week. It's been up 54%. And in the pre-market, we see that it's currently not even ticking. We don't see any percentages. But let me show you something very quickly. This stock came out last year. So it's not that old at all. So it's maybe about about 3 months old so far. And I know the current price of where the IPO came out at $35, and now that the stock is under $10, very volatile. A lot of people lost a lot of money on this stock, especially they sold when it started to drop. These are one of those stocks, ladies and gentlemen, that you stay in for a very, very long time because this is dealing with zero carbon based energies, okay, those alternative fuel sources like solar, nuclear, and I believe biomass. But we'll get into it and we'll find out more about the stock. So TeraWulf owns and operates fully integrated environmental clean Bitcoin mining facilities in the United States. TeraWulf will generate domestically produced Bitcoin powered by nuclear, hydro, and solar energy. Okay, the company was founded last year, February, and is headquartered in Easton, Maryland. Okay, and the name for this is WULF, WULF. Now, as we get into this, I've heard that when this stock really starts to take toll within the stock market, that they will start to have dividends. So again, you're buying it under $10 a share. I believe that eventually, I can't really give you a time range of when this stock is going to take off because it is so innovative, it's so new, and it came out very ballsy. Okay, it came out like a boss at $35 per share, and now in less than 3 months, we're looking at less than 3 months or so. We're looking at this stock drop $25 almost, more than that. So we have to be very cognizant and be very aware of how the stock market in this particular time is trending. But we have to look at the current rates. We have to look at the current economy. We understand that we have cut the pipelines off from Russia coming into America as far as oil. So that's why gas prices are hiking up. What do gas actually do? Gas is what generates the power for you to have electricity in your home. So when you look at other investments, this could be a great investment down the line because this is using alternative fuel sources, okay? And we'll get more into that as well. Now, as we're looking at this, we see the 52-week high around $44, the 52-week low around $4. I wish I knew when it hit $4 because I would have definitely invested in this stock right here, okay? We're looking at the earnings of the different quarters. We don't see any significant information here except for Q4 when it first came out. You see it was at $35. And that's pretty much it for that. Now, as I look at some of the financials over here, ladies and gentlemen, it didn't look good from my perspective. But again, this is one of a kind where they're trying to be 100%. I think roughly they're around 90% right now. And matter of fact, what they're stating here on their website is that TeraWulf represents a new paradigm for crypto mining, providing domestically produced Bitcoin by using more than 90% zero carbon energy today. Our goal is that every kilowatt hour of energy we'll consume will come from a zero carbon energy source. It goes on to say, we are developing and will own and operate fully integrated Bitcoin mining facilities in strategic locations across the United States, generating attractive investor returns. Listen to that. Generating attractive investor returns while providing sustainable benefits for our communities. Our industry's leading development, engineering, and energy market expertise ensures we take the most efficient path from zero carbon electrons to cryptocurrencies. Why is that important? Because a lot of people who have great influence in the crypto mining, in the crypto investing space, have said a lot of things about zero carbon energy sources and not dealing with fossil fuels. No other than Elon Musk. Elon Musk wants Bitcoin, but he doesn't want the carbon footprint. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not aware of how much it costs in order for you guys to essentially mine Bitcoin, I know a lot of people are like, oh, what do I need to mine Bitcoin? Well, you need a powerful computer. Yeah, you can mine Bitcoin at home. Yeah, you can mine Bitcoin at home. But they say to get the daily amount of energy that network uses, we take the kilowatt to mine 1 Bitcoin times the daily production rate of 900 coin. Thus, Bitcoin network currently consumes 128 million kilowatts or 128 milliwatts per day. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about big money. Let me put that in layman's terms. There are huge costs involved with the hardware and electricity when it comes to dealing with Bitcoin and mining Bitcoin, especially the electricity costs. Mining equipment requires a lot of power, and it could cost as much as $73,000 to process 1 Bitcoin, depending on the electricity costs in your area. But that's the amount of money that we're talking about that you guys may have to come out your money. Some people say, well, it's anywhere around $10,000 or more. On the low end, $10,000. And that really depends on if you are dealing with nuclear energy, or you're dealing with natural gas. Did you buy a small grid of your own? Like, these things cost a lot of money to generate. So in order for companies really to make money, they have to have multiple large computing machines that run Bitcoin mining all day. So they're trying to find out ways to mine Bitcoin without the electrical costs. That's why you'll see a lot of Bitcoin mining facilities nowadays. They will start to have solar panels. They'll have solar panels on top of their warehousing in their buildings because Bitcoin mining costs so darn much. Okay, let's move on though, because this is important to note, and it's something that the CEO did. I'm gonna go back to where we saw our influx of this particular stock, because it's something that the CEO did that a lot of them do to boost the stock. Okay, as we saw here, that the stock in the last week has been up 51%. Why is that? That is because the CEO right here, stock jumps after CEO bought stocks worth $970,000. Okay, it says that its CEO Paul Prager buys 150,000 shares at $6.45 per share. That represents total consideration of almost $1 million. A quick look at the company's ownership structure. Now, he bought 150,000 shares at $6.40. And I keep telling you guys, this is very easy how they manipulate their own stocks. This is how they manipulate the market. This is the same thing that the Wall Street bets groups do. When they go in, they buy a stock at a very, very low price, and then they just dump it, right? Because then you just kind of shave off the profits of the amount that you came in at, right? Because anytime you look at an investment, right, it's the amount of money that you've invested. Then the profit is minus the amount of money you invested. Does that make sense? So if you invest in a stock, let's say, for instance, the stock costs $10, then the stock raises to $20, and then you sell that stock, your profit is $10, okay? Which is 100% profit return. That's a $1 investment, right? That's 100% return on your investment. So that's all good things. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, when we're talking about Bitcoin mining, it's very important that you understand some very technical things when it comes to Bitcoin mining and the investment of a company that's so innovative and first of its kind. Bitcoin mining consumes around 91 terawatts of electricity annually. That's more annual electricity than the use of all of Finland, individual countries here, all of Finland, maybe all of Norway, probably all of Iceland, because those countries don't have what no more than 5 million people, but that's how much electricity annual that it takes when people are trying to mine Bitcoin. Now, I gave you some technical things, but essentially, depending on what power you have and the company that has those really large computer that's autonomous that can just try to mine Bitcoin all day, they can probably mine a Bitcoin in 10 minutes, right? Compared to you trying to do it at home, where it may take you almost a month to mine a Bitcoin. And it's even more power if you're trying to mine Ethereum, okay, which is the alternative to a Bitcoin. Essentially, they have their own network. But anyway, I wanted to give you that information because I think it's important that you guys invest in stocks like this early on. A lot of times when you look at the analysis and the prediction and even the forecast, they can be quite daunting on your investment portfolios, and you may not want to invest in those stocks. But these are the technology companies. Okay, when you have someone and the CEO, they did a merger, by the way. Yep, they did a merger with a company called Iconics. But I think the most important thing to take away from this is we've continued to take steps to develop our facilities in New York and Pennsylvania and towards our goal of providing domestically produced Bitcoin powered by 100% zero carbon energy. Our team brings decades of energy experience and with a model of sustainable large-scale cryptocurrency mining, which we believe will create sustainable long-term values for our shareholders. Okay, so they teamed up with a company or merged with a company called Iconics, trying to meet this goal. And ladies and gentlemen, the way that the current energy prices are, I keep telling people when we look at how much a barrel of oil actually costs, and for a long time in the past 5 years or so, America has been the number one producers of oil. We've also been the number one consumers of oil, but that doesn't mean we have more oil than anyone else. No. We're number 11 on the countries with the largest oil reserves, while countries like Venezuela and Saudi Arabia are 1 and 2. And by the way, Russia is number 8. See, Russia was giving 41% of their oil reserves, or the amount of oil they're finding in their country, to the UK, and about around 2 or 3% to America. Now, believe it or not, that 2 or 3% we're talking about is large numbers of oil that essentially decreased or kept our gas prices at a cost where Americans really wasn't complaining. Now we're looking at costs in California, Washington. We're looking at for regular, not even premium, right? Not even mid-grade, regular, $5 per gallon. Even in Texas, ladies and gentlemen, for regular gas is $4, which is very high for Texans and other southern states. So we have to be very cognizant of that 2 to 3% that we're getting for Russia. And now we're knocking on Venezuela's door because now we want some of that Venezuela oil, that they have the largest oil reserves in the world. And anytime that you find an oil deposit, on top of that is natural gas, 99% of the time. There's very few times where we find natural gas outside of an oil deposit, but it does occur. Why is that important? Because natural gas is the energy source that they use to power electricity grids in order to send electricity to your home. So that's why investing in a company that is using alternative fuel sources like solar power, hydro, and nuclear energy. And we understand that nuclear energy is very cheap, and when done correctly, is very, very safe. Me personally, I love the fact of nuclear energy. That's some of my background. I was in the military. When we look at that, it's very safe, it's very affordable, and believe me, think of it like this. If someone say, hey, it won't be another Chernobyl. It just won't be another Chernobyl. We'll put all the safeguards in place, and we'll have this nuclear energy facility out in one of the deserts of California or Arizona, and we're just kind of, have a whole, mass field of nuclear energy reactors, and your energy cost won't be no more than $25 a month. Who would essentially raise their hand and say, I want $25 a month energy, no matter how much energy you use? But anyway, that's just kind of a dream. I don't know if it ever come to a reality. This is Financial Literacy 101. Learn money and be inspired. And ladies and gentlemen, as I told you before, this stock is doing bad right now from what some of you can actually take. But already in this week, ladies and gentlemen, it's popping up at 85%. You got to get on investment while they're early, because when this stock goes back up to $35, you'll be kicking yourself in the ass wishing you invest. I'm out.